1 minute, I will restart the meeting.
Okay, so I had explained you that how you can create a playwright test in multiple ways, and then you have okay QA playground, okay, or else we have Selenium automation practice tools QA. Okay, so you will get an option. You can click on that particular element. So it's like if you see right here, I have you can click on home, and you will have multiple where you can practice it. So if you click on demo site, you can actually go to demo site, and here right if you click on elements, you will see a lot of elements here. I mean, so for example, if you see right, I have text box, I have checkbox. If you see right, this is nothing but the checkbox. I have radio button. This is nothing but the radio button. I have web tables. This is nothing but a web table. I have buttons. This is nothing but a button. If you click on it, right, double click, right click, click me. And then you have links. If you click on link, right, it redirects to a different page. So these are like, means first you need to understand how you are going to perform actions on these particular elements. How you are going to perform actions on these particular elements. Or else you can simply say Guru 99 Selenium elements practice. So you'll get a link. If you click onto that particular link, right? Okay, if you want to click onto those links, if you scroll down, okay, you have like a Flash, a demo, Ajax, a login. Means I'm just checking where we can practice all those elements. Okay, we have some websites. Let me just go here and click on history. And click on history. So let me just check. Let me just check one sample website. Okay. So this is the website where you can practice. See, for example, I can practice checkboxes. Okay, these are like checkboxes. I can practice radio buttons. I can practice drop downs. You have different types of drop downs. You have text boxes where you can type some value. You have buttons where you can click onto that particular button, and you will get this text. You have links. If you click on that particular link, right, you will get this particular link. And you have other links as well. It will redirect to some other page. It will actually redirect to some other page. Now what we will do here is, let's see, first right, if you go back to your tutorial, if you go back to your document, right, so first let us check how we are going to type. If I need to type, right, we actually type it on our text box. So what I am going to do here is just open Visual Code. Okay, just open VS Code. And now what I'm doing here is I'm writing some examples. Okay, I'm writing some examples. For that, right, what I have done here is I'm going and I'm closing this and I'm going to File and I'm clicking on Open Folder. Or else close this. I'm clicking on File and I'm clicking on Open Folder. but I'm just creating a new project. So what I have done here is I'm creating a new folder, and I'm saying that this folder name is 9 p.m. Okay, this folder name is 9:30 p.m. Okay, and then I'm opening that particular folder in VS Code. I am opening that particular folder in VS Code. Once I open it, right, this folder is blank. Now, under to this particular folder, right, I need to set up a Playwright. So you need to go here and you need to click on Show Commands and you need to click on Playwright Install. Okay, so if you see, right, I will get this pop-up, select this and click on OK. Select this and click on OK. So it is actually installing a complete Playwright under to this particular 9:30 p.m. project. Under to this particular 9:30 p.m. project. Now, the next step here is once you have done with your installation, right, you can delete your test examples. This folder is not required. We need only test folder. Okay, we need only test folder. Now, under to this, right, if I need to write some test case, I need to simply select the test folder and click on this plus symbol. And I need to write sample1.js. Okay. Or else you can simply say function F2 and I can rename it as I want to write a text dot spec dot JS. Now the first step here is if I need to create a test, right, first I need to import. I need to import a test. Okay. And then I need to import it from this require playwright / test. Now I need to write a test. So I need to write a test block where this test block is nothing but example of text box. And then I need to write one anonymous function where it contains open and close brace. Okay, and at the end, right, you need to put semicolon. Now I want to make this particular anonymous function. Now I need to make this particular anonymous function as async. It means I'm making it as asynchronous. Now, if I want to use page, right, I need to pass page as a fixture. So this is nothing but the syntax. If I need to create any test, right, so the first part is nothing but the test name. Second one is nothing but anonymous asynchronous function. And here, right, we actually need to write our test code. Here, right, we actually need to write our test code. So if you see here, right, what I'm doing here, I need to write a page and I need to press enter. And here, right, I need to write await and I need to write page.goto because I want to open URL. And here, right, I need to give that particular URL. Here, right, I need to give that particular URL. So if you go to your application, right, for example, if I want to test this text box, this is the URL. I'm copying this. And now I'm going back to my code and I'm giving that URL here. So once I had opened this particular, once I had opened this particular URL, right, I want to make sure my script, it is waiting for some time. So what I need to do, I need to write a page dot and I have a method called wait for timeout. And here, right, I can give 5,000 milliseconds. It means I'm asking my script to wait for 5 seconds. Now the next part here is, now first what I'm going to do here is, if you go to this application, right, first I will type some value like A, B, C, D something. Then I will wait for 5 seconds. And then again, I will remove this particular value and I'm going to type another value. So whenever you see any text box on your application, if I need to type, right, so how I need to type it? So first one is I need to write a page dot, and if I want to locate an element, I need to use locator. And here, right, I need to pass locator value. And on that particular element, I need to type. So I said you, right, we can use a type method. We can use a type method and you need to write, for example, if I want to type A, B, C, D, E, F. So this is how that you need to type onto that particular element. If you see, right, that type is showing in cross mark, it means it is going to be get depreciated in your upcoming releases. It is going to be get depreciated in your upcoming releases. It means instead of we will see both. So for example, here, right, I need to type. So if you go here to that particular element, what I need to do here is I need to right click onto that particular element. You need to click on inspect so that you'll get inspector. Here, right, you have selector sub. So just to inspect that particular element. So you got some relative CSS. Copy that relative CSS and give that CSS here. And whenever you are going to write CSS in single quotes, you need to make sure under to that particular CSS, right? Whatever the single quotes that you need to rename that with double quotes, that you need to change that to double quotes. Now it means the first step is I am typing A, B, C, D, E, F. And then what I am doing is again I am asking my script to wait for 5 seconds. Now again I am copying the same code again onto the same locator, right? What I am going to do here is I need to remove that particular value that I got typed, so that I need to use clear. I need to use clear. And again I need to wait for 5 seconds. And again I need to write, but here, right, I want to type it using fill method, not the not the type method. So if you see, right, XYZ. So if you see, right, XYZ. After typing is right, again I'm making my script to wait for 5 seconds so that you can observe it, or else it will speedily execute that particular script. So if you see here, right, now if you go back and if I want to run that particular test, how do I run? I need to use npx and I need to use Playwright and I need to use a test. And if I want to run it using a test name, I need to use -G and I need to say text box. And I need to say text box. Okay, and at the end, right, what I need to do here is, and at the end, right, what I need to do here is, I need to also specify. I need to also specify what I want to run this text, right? So what I need to do here is, let me remove this place. So I am using this and I want to run that in headed mode. But if I want to run that in headed mode, right here, first step here is I should also comment other browsers, or else it will run on all browsers. I want to run it only on Chrome. I want to run it only on Chrome. So what you need to do, you need to comment all other browsers that are displayed, that are configured under to Playwright config. I have configured only Chrome browser. So whenever I'm going to run this particular command, right, it is going to run your code in headed mode and it is going to open your Chrome browser. Okay. It has opened your Chrome browser and then it is typing. So if you see, right, it is waiting for 5 seconds and it has typed A, B, C, D, E, F. And then it is waiting for another 5 seconds and it has removed. Means clear. Now again it is waiting for another 5 seconds and it is typing X, Y, Z. So if you see, right, whenever I need to type some value, or if I want to type some value on my, if I want to type some value, if I want to type some value onto my application, right? So you can use a type. If I want to remove, I can use clear. If I want to type again, I can use fill. But it is always suggested to use this fill method actively other than type method. Because type method is in cross, it means it is going to get depreciated in your next upcoming releases. It is going to get depreciated in upcoming releases of your Playwright. Now, in the same way, right, we need to practice for other elements as well. So again, I'm copying this. I'm going to tests. Now I am going to do it for a checkbox. Okay, now I'm going to create a test. Now here, right, again, I want to remove this. And here, right, I want to write, this is nothing but an example for a checkbox. Okay, and now, right, what I need to do here is I need to go back to my application. Now you need to click on checkbox. So these all are nothing but checkboxes. Now I need to open this URL. So copy this URL, go back to your script, and I'm giving this URL here. So I want to open checkbox URL. So once I had opened that particular checkbox URL, right, I'm asking my script to wait for 5 seconds. I'm asking my script to wait for 5 seconds. Now what I need to do, I need to select some option. For example, if I want to select this option, I need to inspect it. Then you will get the indexed XPath. Now what I need to do here is I need to copy this. I need to go back to my code and I need to copy that particular XPath here. And as I said, right, whenever in XPath, right, if you see single quotes, you need to replace that with double quotes. Now what I need to do, it is a checkbox, right? So what I need to do here is I have multiple ways. I can directly use the click method to select it or not to select it. Or else, again, after selecting that, right, again, I'm waiting for 5 seconds. So I'm actually waiting for 5 seconds. Now, after waiting for 5 seconds, right, again, if I want to select the same, if I want to uncheck that particular element, you have a method called uncheck. This is going to unselect that particular checkbox. And if you see, right, again, after unchecking it, right, again, if I want to select after waiting for 5 seconds, you can also use a check method. Means whenever I want to select a value which is present as in checkbox, I can use check method to select it or else click method to select it. If I want to unselect it, I need to use uncheck method. I need to use uncheck method. Now again, copy this and paste it. Now again, run your script. So if you see here, right, it is running your test box, but I want to run what it is, a checkbox. So here, right, I need to click on function F2 and checkbox dot spec dot js is the file name. Now, if I want to run it, right, again, I need to run using npx. And here, right, I need to give that particular file name. So it is nothing but check box. So it is going to run. It is not. It will show that you don't have because I had written spelling wrong. It is a checkbox. Okay, it is checkbox. So it is again opening and it is opening the checkbox. See, now it will select the first option 2. Okay, using click method. Okay, now it is waiting for 5 seconds. Now again it will uncheck that particular option 2. Now again it is waiting for 5 seconds. It will again select that option 2 by using check method. Now again it is waiting for 5 seconds. And finally it will close your browser. And finally it is closing your browser. So these methods, right, through which you are able to select, click, uncheck. Uncheck means it will unselect. Check means it will select. You can use click or you can use check method through which you can select that particular checkbox. Through which you can select that particular checkbox. Yeah, someone has raised hands. Yeah, you can ask me questions, Ramesh and Sushma.
Yeah, I have one doubt. Here,
Yeah.
right, if I want to implement checkbox, radio button, and all, same like URL, we need to mention again and again, right?
Hmm.
So, by mentioning like that, code will be increased, right? Is there any other ways to write
It is like
many?
it is like for your practice, I am showing you what if you want to practice checkbox, right? You have when you click on radio button, the URL is getting changed. So I'm asking you to directly redirect you to this URL and click on that particular element so you are able to practice it. But normally, right, in real practice, right, right, first you will be launching into this particular home site. Okay. So normally in real practice, right, how it will be, if I refresh it, right, I'll get my site like this. Okay, once I get to that particular site, right, what I need to do, I need to click on browser actions. Or else, if you scroll down, right, you will see some user interface elements. Or else, if you scroll up, right, what it is, you will see forms. But now what I need to do, for example, if I'm refreshing this page, right, I'll get this link. So you need to write that steps and you need to navigate it. Okay, so what I mean to say is, I'll show you the same example. So you need to go to test and I'm simply clicking onto that particular element. And I'm simply saying example dot spec dot js. So you already have example. So what I'm doing is I'm simply saying it is nothing but a sample one dot spec dot js. Now, if I want to now whatever the code that I want to write, right, first I need to navigate to this particular URL. So I need to copy the same code that what I am able to write it, right? So I'm just copying here. So I don't want to write all these steps now. Okay. Now here, right, this URL, first I want to launch into this particular URL. Okay, first I need to launch into this particular URL. And then, right, then I need to make sure that I am waiting for, then I am making sure that I'm waiting for some amount of time. So which is nothing but 5 seconds. And then, right, I want to go and click onto that particular element. For that, right, again, you need to write the same code like A is equal to page dot locator. Okay, and then you need to write your locator value in single quotes. And then, right, you need to click on to that particular element first. On which element, if you click right, you will get to that list of whatever elements, right? First, you need to click on to that particular element. So what I mean to say here is, if you go back to your application, now once you open this particular application, you will get to this particular screen. Now I need to click on forms. So you need to inspect that particular forms. So whenever you're inspecting the particular forms, right, it will actually give you the XPath of it. So I need to copy this XPath. I need to go back and I need to give that particular locator. And whenever you're going to give locator in single quotes, right, in that locator, you should replace your single quotes with a double quotes, with your double quotes. So now you clicked onto that particular, forms. And then I am giving some wait time. And then I am giving some wait time. Now, once you click onto that particular forms, right, it will expand like this. Now, what I need to do, if I need to click onto that particular checkbox, again, I need to identify that checkbox. Again, I need to identify that checkbox. Again, I need to identify the checkbox relative checkbox. And then I need to again write await. Again, I need to write await. Again, I need to write await page dot locator. And here, right, I need to write that particular locator. Here, right, I need to write that particular locator. Which is nothing but this is the locator. And whenever you are going to use this locator, right, all single quotes in that particular one, right, you need to replace that with double quotes. So if you see, right, it has been replaced with your double quotes. Now this is the XPath of that particular element. Now I need to perform click action. Now once this has been done, right, then I need to wait for a certain amount of time, and then we need to actually write our and then we need to actually write our code to select this particular whatever that you are. For example, if you click on checkbox, right, now you need to write code to select this options. So just for practice, right, directly I'm giving that URL, but in real practice, right, we actually navigate it from your actual URL itself. And second thing, right, this is like only for your practicing. Okay.
So if I want to go to radio button again I need to inspect, again I need to
you need to click on it, then only you need to practice it. But as I said, right, this is only for your practice. In real practice, right, we don't write like this. We actually write it using reusable methods. You will actually write some reusable methods, and with that, right, you actually write it. Okay. So that part, right, we will see. First, you need to understand these basics. How we are going to handle different types of elements. So now we had seen text box and as well as checkbox. In the same way, right, for example, if I'm copying the same and I want to handle now radio button. Now what I need to do, I need to review the spec.js, and here, right, I need to write radio button. Now in this radio button, right, I don't need all this. So I'm removing this. Now what I need to do, I need to first go back to my application. And here, right, I need to click on radio button. Then you'll get this URL, copy this URL. Go back to your code and change this particular URL for practicing your radio button. Now, if I want to click onto that particular radio button, right, whatever that you see on your application, I need to inspect that particular radio button. So now if you see, right, now whenever you're inspecting it, right, that radio button will have some CSS or something, index XPath or something. You can use any of these values. Then I need to copy that particular value here. And whenever you see any single quotes within that XPath, right, just to change that single quotes to double quotes. Now we are going to select that particular radio button. It means, see, whenever you go here, right, I am able to select this particular radio button. Now what I need to do, I need to select other radio button, and I need to select other radio button. So first I need to select the first radio button, and then I need to select the third radio button, and then I need to select the fourth radio button. Or else let us go ahead in the same index. Let us say first I want to select the last radio button, and then again I want to wait for some time, and then I need to select my second radio button, and then again I need to wait for some time, and then again I need to wait for I need to select my first radio button. So if you see here, right, so these are nothing but like a different, these are like a different, these are like different. If you see here, right, first I'm opening it, then I'm selecting first radio button, and then I'm waiting for 5 seconds and selecting second radio button. And then again, I'm waiting for 5 seconds. I need to select my third radio button. Whenever you need to perform action on a radio button, we need to use this dot click method. We need to use this dot click method. And in real practice, right, it is not required to write this await page dot wait for timeout. That is this code, right? I am writing so that it will slowly execute, so that you can understand that how it is actually performing actions on your application. Is this part clear, Suma, or any questions?
It is clear. You said reusable methods, right? Is there any link to practice, or you are going to explain in upcoming session? Reusable methods, how
I'll tell
to.
that. Okay, first step is you need to know how to handle different elements. Then we will
Okay.
write scenarios. We'll take one test case and we'll try to write end-to-end test case using this code. Then once you get the idea, right, that how you are going to write a test case using your Playwright to test it, right, then we'll convert that scenario into reusable functions. It means we are going to create them under two different files, and we actually access them from those files, so that it increases reusability. It means you're writing code only into a single file or under to a single location. Wherever it is required, right, you are importing it and you are able to access it. So that part, right, we will see. First concept here is you need to understand that how you are going to use all those methods. So as of now, right, you have used a type method to type some text, fill method, you had used to type some text, clear method to clear the value which is typed, right, we have used it. And whenever you're dealing with radio button, link or button, right, you need to use a dot click method. And whenever you're dealing with checkbox, you can use the check method to select it, uncheck method to unselect it. And select option is for using for a drop down and as well as list box. So now we are seeing that how you are going to perform actions on different elements. Like now I am able to handle radio button. Now if I want to run this particular test, right, now what I need to do here, instead of the checkbox, right, I need to give radio. And if you enter, right, it will run your test. So if you see right now, it has opened your Chrome browser. It has, and again, it is selecting option A first. Okay, I'm waiting for 5 seconds, and it is selecting option C because I had written from C to A. Now again, it will select B. Now after waiting for 5 seconds, it will select A. And finally, it will wait for 5 seconds, and then it will automatically close your browser. That will automatically close your Playwright browser. So how you had written, right, in the same way the code got executed onto that particular radio button, Now the next part here is, see, you have links and buttons. For the links and buttons, right, the same code, you need to locate this particular element and you need to perform action on it. So for example, I want to write it for links. So copy this. Now go back. Now this checkbox, right, again I'm copying this and I'm pasting here. Now creating function F2 means I want to rename that particular file. So spec.js, and here, right, I'm writing it as a link. Now I'll get this particular file. Now what I need to do, I need to go back to my application and I need to open this particular link. Then only I'm able to practice my link. So here, right, I'm opening this particular link. And after that, right, I'm waiting for 5 seconds. And then, right, I need to click onto that particular link. So if I want to click onto that particular link, right, now again, inspect that particular link. So you will see this is nothing but the XPath of that particular element. What is the XPath of that particular element? Copy this XPath, go back to your code and give that particular XPath here. It means it is going to click onto that particular click me link. It is actually helping you to click onto that particular click me link. Now, if you want to run this particular test, right, how do you run? I need to say link. And if you want to run it, right, I need to simply say instead of radio, right, I can give part of that particular file name. So now it is executing. So now if you open it, right, so what happens? It is going to open your Chrome browser and then it is going to click on that particular link after waiting for 5 seconds. So if you see, right, it is clicking. And then it will automatically wait for 5 seconds and it will close your browser. It has been closing your browser. Now this is about how you are going to click onto that particular link. The same, right, now copy this link and I want to click onto, now the next part here is I need to create a function. And now, right, this is nothing but copy.spec.js. And now, right, if you go back to your application, on what element, you need to practice it on button. So what I need to do, I am just creating this particular file, function F2, and I'm saying that button button. Now you will get this. Now I'm changing the test name, that this test is for testing button. Now, if I want to test a button, right, now you need to go back and I need to click on buttons. You need to copy this particular URL, go back and give that particular URL here. And then, right, I need to click on to that particular button. So how do I click? So now again, you need to go back and you need to inspect that particular button. And this is nothing but the back end, relative XPath of that particular element. Or, or else this is nothing but relative XPath of that particular element. And I need to give that particular XPath here, so paste it. And here, right, I need to change, whenever you see any single quotes, right, you need to change that to double quotes. Now again, if you run this particular test, right, instead of link, I'm simply saying a button. Okay, I'm simply saying button button. If you run it, right, so what happens? It is going to again open that buttons page, and it is going to wait, and it is going to wait. Okay, it is running some other test. Because why it is running some other test means it is very simple. I will tell you. Because when I am giving here button, right, there are two test cases with button name. So what I'm doing here is I'm simply saying, so that what I'm saying here is I'm simply saying, go to your application, and what I need to do here is I need to inspect this particular element, and this is nothing but that element XPath. Now on that particular element, right, here, right, if you see here, right, I have two button name and radio button, so it is executing both. So now what I want to do here is I want to rename it as some with unique value. So I'm simply saying this is an button example. So what I am doing, I am writing button example.spec.js. So if I want to run this particular test, right, what I need to do, I need to write a button example and press enter. So what happens, it is going and it is actually launching, and then it is actually opening your buttons, and it is waiting for 5 seconds and it will click on it. So if you see, right, it is clicking on it. Now you got a basic button clicked. Now again it is waiting for 5 seconds and it is closing your browser. It is closing your browser. So this is how that you need to practice on all the elements, that how you are going to use these methods. Like if I want to type, fill, clear, click, check, uncheck, and as well as select option. Now one complex thing here is you need to understand whenever I want to select, whenever I want to use this select option, this can be used for drop down, and this can be also used, the same method can be used to select a value from drop down, and the same method is also used to select a value from list box. List box means it's very simple, I show you. If you go back to your application and if you close this, right, so if you go to your drop downs, if you see, right, this is a sample drop down where you are able to select only one option. For example, initially I have selected 2, and then I am selecting 1, and then I am selecting 3. So this is like a simple drop down. If you go and if you select multi-select, this is called as a list box where you can press control and you can select multiple values. Where you can press control and you can select multiple values. So in the both the cases, even though it is a drop down or even though it is a list box, okay, or even though it is a list box, right? We can, even though if it is a drop down or even though if it is a list box, right? You can, normally use the same method, which is nothing but select option. So how do we use it? So for that, right, what I'm doing here is I'm going to write another code, copy this button example, paste here, and click on function F2. And what I need to do here is I need to remove this spec, and I need to create a drop down dot spec.js. And here, right, I'm simply saying it is nothing but a drop down example. So I'm simply writing it as a drop down. Now, if I want to directly practice on this particular drop down, right, I need to click on the simple drop down. So you need to navigate to this particular URL. I need to copy this particular URL and I need to use that particular URL in goto method. So it will actually open drop down page. And then I need to wait for 5 seconds. Now, what I need to do here is I need to select a value from this particular drop down. What I need to do, I need to right click on it and I need to click on inspect so that you will get this. I need to inspect this particular element. So if you go to your selector sub, right, it is actually showing that how you are able to select that particular element. So copy this element. Now what I need to do is I'm copying this particular element, going back to your code, and I want to locate that particular element. So as I said, right, whenever you see single quotes in XPath, replace those with double quotes. Replace that with double quotes. Now, if you see, right, this is nothing but this is nothing but how you are going to locate that particular drop down. Now, if I want to select, right, I need to use a select option. I need to use a select option. And here, right, in this option, I need to pass some value. Which value I want to select it from that particular drop down. Now here, right, you need to understand whenever I want to select a drop down, right, that can be done in 3 ways. You can use a value. You can use a label, which is nothing but what we actually call it as a text. Or else you can use index. So if I need to use value, so if you go to that particular element, if you inspect that particular element, if you see in the backend HTML code, right, it is displayed under to select. If you expand that select, you can see that you have option tag where you have option 1, where you have option 2, where you have option 3. And in that, right, option is nothing but what we are actually calling it as a tag name. Value is nothing but attribute. If I want to use this value, let us say I want to select option 2, I can copy this, I can go back, and here I need to give that particular value. So it is going to select option 2 first. And then again, if I want to select a value from that particular drop down using label, then what I need to do here I need to write open curly brace. And at the end, right, I need to write close curly brace. And here, right, I should write label label, and I need to give this column. It means I want to select this particular value using label, which is present in between to starting and ending tag. For example, if I want to select this option 3, which is present in text position, if I want to highlight, if I want to locate that one, if I want to select that particular element, right, then you need to give label. So it will select that particular value based on that particular text. Or else, the third way is again, you can locate that particular element and you can use indexing. And you can use indexing. So for example, if I want to select the first element, now instead of label, right, I need to write here index, and I can simply say what index value I want to select. I want to select the first value, so I'm saying 0. I'm saying 0. And after selecting this, right, again I need to write this await because I want to make sure that my script is waiting. That my script is waiting. So I need to write await. I need to write await. I need to write await. So this will help you to wait. This will help you to wait. So save it. Now if you see, right, now if I want to run this particular script, so Control C, go back, and I am simply saying that this is a drop down. So I need to give that particular file name as a drop down. And if you run it, so it is going to select. See, now it is going to open your drop down page, and then it is waiting for 5 seconds. First it will select option 3. Okay, waiting for 5 seconds, and it will select option 2. And waiting for 5 seconds, it will select option 3. And then waiting for 5 seconds, it will select option 1. So if you see, right, and now again it is waiting for 5 seconds and it is going to close this particular browser. So if I want to select any values from a drop down, you need to use this select by option method where I can pass value. This value is nothing but attribute value. If you see, right, attribute means which is present in starting tag. Option is nothing but a starting tag. Slash option is ending tag. And if you see here, right, this option 3 is nothing but the text. And whatever that you see value, right, this is called as an attribute. You can use this value, you can use this text as label, or else you can use indexing. First 0 means it will select option 1. 1 means it will select option 2. 2 means it is going to select option 3. You can also use indexing through which you are able to select the values from drop down. Now another example. It is like now I want to use a list box. List box means where I need to select multiple values from that particular list. So for example, I'm simply saying spec.js. Now I'm renaming this drop down to list box and press enter. Now here, right, this is list box, so that I'm saying a list box. Now, if you see here, right, now if I want to select multiple values from that particular drop down, now what I need to do here is I need to give those values. I need to give those values in square bracket. For example, if I want to select square bracket, let us say I want to select option 1 first, and then option 3. and I want to select these two values from that particular list box, then you need to give like this. It means if you see, right, in square bracket, if you are giving any data, this represents an array. This represents an array. Now this represents an array. It is like this is representing an array. Now, if I want to say, if I run the same, right, say now before running it, right, now I need to go and click on to this particular multi-select. So go and inspect it. Now I got, this is nothing but the XPath of that particular element. Now go back. Now once you launch your application, now what you need to do here is you need to write await and you need to write page.locator. And once you write locator, right, I need to locate this particular element. I need to locate this particular element using this locator value. And whenever you are going to locate that particular element, I need to use a dot click method. And whenever you see any single quotes in that particular XPath, I need to use double quotes. So if you see, right, first I'm clicking on it and then I'm waiting and then I'm selecting options and then again I'm waiting to check whether those options got selected or not. Now if I want to run this, right, what I need to do here, right, instead of drop down, I need to give list box and press enter. So now if you see, right, it is opening your, it is actually opening your drop down and then it is clicking on multi-select. Now it is waiting for 5 seconds and it will select multiple items from that particular multi-select. So if you see, right, it is waiting for 5 seconds and it is selecting multiple items from that particular multi-select. Now, if you see here, right, it is not getting selected. Why it is not getting selected? Because I have not given correct path. If you see, right, this locator may be wrong. Now, what I need to do, again, I need to go back and I need to click on multi-select. I need to click on multi-select. And now what I need to do, first I need to highlight this particular element. Now this is nothing but the relative XPath and this is nothing but your index XPath. Copy this and I need to change this locator because I forgot to change this locator. So I need to copy this, save it. And whenever you see single quotes, you need to update that with double quotes. You need to update that with double quotes. Now save it. Now this is your locator value. Okay. Now I need to use what I need to use. I need to use dot select option. Now you run your test case. Now again, if you run it, right, what happens? It is going to run that particular list box. Now first it will open your Chrome browser, then it will going to drop down. Now it select a multi-select. It is waiting for 5 seconds and it will select multiple values. See, it has selected option 1 and option 3. Okay. This is called as a list box, means where it also it also looks like a drop down, but it is not a drop down. Where you're able to select multiple values from it. Where you can select multiple values from it. Where you can select multiple values from it. So you need to practice in the same way, right? See, now I covered all these methods. Whatever you see here, right? Like how do we use the type method, fill method, clear method, click method, check, uncheck, and as well as how you are able to select a value from drop down using select option. How you are able to select a value from drop down. If you want to pass, right, you need to pass with square bracket multiple values. Then it is going to select multiple values from list box. So this is what that you need to remember as part of how you are going to perform actions on your elements. How you are actually performing actions on your elements. Now, see, two things that we had seen. See, you need to combine all these three, then only you can design a test case. If I want to design an automation test script, right, what I need to do, first step is I need to understand how do we locate it. Second step is you need to understand how do you perform actions, how do you perform action on that particular element. Now, third step is how do we validate it. For validation, right, in expect, expect. We have expect module from where you can use methods through which you can perform your validations in Playwright. And this expect is an inbuilt, module provided under to it is expect is inbuilt in Playwright so that you can use those methods to perform your validations. The Playwright to perform your validations, What so this is nothing but the inbuilt method through which you can, it actually helps us to perform PRFORM, perform your validations. So for that, right, you need to go back to your site, and here, right, simply type Playwright validations, or else you can simply say assertions. You will automatically get Playwright assertions. Now these assertions, right, whatever the assertions that you see here, right, all these are help you to perform validations in your Playwright. All these methods, right, whatever that you see, right, you can use these methods to perform validations in your Playwright. Now, in our next session, right, we will write some examples on these validations. You will write some examples on these validations. And then once you get the idea, right, then we will write some end-to-end test cases. Means we'll pick some test cases and we'll write some end-to-end test cases. Now, once we write these end-to-end test cases, right, then we need to go and see JavaScript basics. Like what is a function? How do we create a function? And how you can access one function in another file? How you can create a class? How you can create a method? And if you want to access that method in another file, how you are going to access it? So you need to see those basics. Then what you will do here is once we complete the basics, right? Then what we are going to convert here is we are going to convert our existing end-to-end test cases, whatever that we had written using Playwright, right? That we will convert it into reusable format. I mean, we actually convert it into reusable methods or functions. You can create functions and you can reuse it. You can also create methods and you can reuse it. So that part, right? We actually convert the end-to-end test cases. Whatever that we had written, end-to-end test cases, that whatever we had written using Playwright, we'll convert them into reusable methods or functions. You can write it as a method and you can reuse it. You can write it as a function and you can reuse it. That part, right, we will see in our next class. We are going to see that in our next class. Any questions on today's session, team? Ramesh, Suma, Saraswati, Debika, Anita, Reena, any questions on today's session? See, it is very simple. You need to remember this base rule. If I want to convert a manual test case into automation script, right? It means first I need to perform action. If I need to perform action, first I need to locate it. If you are able to locate it, then only you can perform action. Like if you want to type on it, if you want to click on it, or if you want to select a value from it, or if you want to uncheck it, if you want to check it, if you want to select that radio button, or if you want to redirect it to that particular link by clicking on it, right? All these, right? All these will be done only when you are able to locate and understand these action methods, that how you are going to perform action. Now, once that has been done, right, then you need to understand after performing some group of actions, you need to validate it. If I say validation means you are comparing your expected with your actual. And then if your validation, based upon your validation, right, you are going to update that particular test case as passed or failed. So in a Playwright, right, we have inbuilt validations. For that, right, we have a module called expect. You can use the expect through which you can access the inbuilt methods which are available in Playwright, through which you can perform your validations and you can update your test as pass or fail. And you can update your Playwright test as pass or fail. So that part, right, we will create some examples in our upcoming class, in our next class. So today is Friday, right? So tomorrow and the day after tomorrow, we don't have any session. So our next session will be on Monday, same time at 9:30 p.m. Is this part clear? Or if you guys are available, we can do it tomorrow. Ramesh, Suma, and others, please respond. If you guys are available, we can do tomorrow, or else we can do it on Monday. Anything is okay. Please confirm here.
Monday.
Okay. Then we will do our next class on Monday. Okay, and I will be sharing these documents Okay, I'll give you a link where I will write all these concepts in a sequence. So you practice in the same sequence by writing some small code snippets. And if you have any issues or any questions, right, you can come back so that I can help you. Okay, that how we need to solve it. So if you're good, right, then I think so we can wind up session for today. And happy weekend, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.